Hey folks, sorry, a little bit of a gap between videos, starting a new gig, moving houses too, a little bit stressful, is what it is. Did manage to get myself out weekend before last though. Beautiful little patch of ground where I've hunted fallow plenty before, and I just wanted to see what the area looked like post-rut, see what animals were still floating around, and I did find some. And on the way back I also found some Rusa deer, which I didn't know were around that patch of the world. It was very cool to see. I'll share that with you shortly. Folks, it's actually a really good time to be getting out bush. I know a lot of people are sniffing around after Samba. From now all the way to the end of the year, that's going to be epic. But it's a really good time to still be hunting fallow and reds too. They can be very vulnerable after the rut. They're more happy to be feeding longer into the day because they kind of have to really pack that condition on again. Anyway, see what you reckon, folks. Good times. Hey folks, first really cold day in a while, and there's a massive southerly, massive Arctic blast, and I really wanted to exploit that first big cold snap. It's May, and so yeah, don't get me wrong, we're in the cool time of year, but it's been a late summer, and a lot of those animals haven't really fully gotten their fluff on yet to protect against this kind of weather. I find that makes them very reactive when you have a cold snap. I think they're going to be awake far longer and want to be toeing around heaps in little sheltered nooks, crannies, gullies, wooded areas, or insulated areas like low pine. It's kind of this 10 to 15 year old pine. Ooh, but I like that. Like all that. Good signs. Fresh as. We'll make it work. Sunny face, wind coming from over the ridge, so not real windy here. Down there, a bit of a quiet zone. I'm actually getting a thermal now, which is grand. This is good. I reckon there's only literally 10% of this landscape that any animal could stand being in this morning. And down there's one of that 10%. I love seeing roos like that, knowing that I haven't disturbed them, knowing that my wind is right, but also asking myself, what's it looking at? It's noticed something down there. So I'll stop here and chill for a bit. But now I've seen a pig on the other side. It's moving, I might have a view of it. It was good luck. I tried to set the camera up and he fucking bolted. I could have just shot him. That's alright. Sign of fellow hunters. I wonder when you were here. There he is. There he is. Bugger. That's the one I put up this morning. And he's on the private. Just want to get a good look at him. There he is. The back's a bit average. Oh, the front's a lot better. I was about to say it's a nice way to finish the day, but the day is not finished yet. They've gone off to the private. I'm still going to use the last 45 minutes of light just to see if there's just a clearing that just up over that ridge there, and if even just a pig. Yeah, just going to make the trip out worth it if I can. I mean, hey, it's all worth it, but I kind of wanted to go home a bit heavy. It's a loud aeroplane. Now, what I find really interesting though is that I had put one of these bucks up earlier that day. He definitely see me, maybe didn't smell me, but he got a good look at me, bolted off. There I am trying a whole nother approach into the area, thinking he'd be further up, probably wouldn't come out till later. Good hour before it's dark, they're already out in the private. They're desperate to feed. Now take a good look at their rumps, if you want to. You just notice the boniness of their whole frame and just how thin, sprangly they are. That hump where you can see that bone come out just from where the hips are, and that kind of sunkenness. That's the first sign of an animal that's, you know, really hasn't been feeding well. But of course, that's the nature of the rut. Fighting, they've been mating, but also just travelling huge distances, both night and day, just to suss out where new patches of does are. They travel enormous distances in the lead up to the rut and during it. What's so interesting is, to be on the way back home from this hunt, took a little detour to an area where I had a hunch that there might be a few animals around, and saw two incredible Rusa deer stags. And they were incredible. That one on the right, he is an absolute cracker. I love him. And he's probably been in a bit of a safe zone there for quite a while to get that kind of age. It's 5 or 6 years at least to get that big. I'm having a guess at him being around the 30 mark, but that's a guess, you know, I wasn't up close. Most of my experience comes from just to guide along the Royal National Park a lot, doing Duke of Edinburgh instruction. I take a lot of school groups down that way. But it's cool. There's lots of Rusa deer in the Royal National Park. So their rut period, unlike reds and fallow, was far more over the winter period and was not as concentrated. Anywhere from basically May through to August, and sometimes a little bit later in some areas, that's when you'd be getting the rut, and it was never too many peaks. And different areas might have different peaks, but you know, it wasn't this big concentrated thing. With these two stags, you can see one of them's in velvet, one of them has just rubbed out, the big one. They're just coming into that period. Now, if I'll draw your attention to their bums again, look at the difference in their conditioning. Look at the difference in shape. You're not seeing those hollowed out areas around their backside because they're plump, they're covered in fat. They probably haven't been moving that much. In that kind of area, look, the feed looks alright. They literally might not have been moving more than a couple of 100 meters a day from bedding area to feed area, or just on a very slow mooch around a lot of areas where they just didn't have to shift too far for a feed, do the grand tour. Again, maybe not more than a couple of 100 meters a day. I would say that situation would probably look quite different for them, body shape wise, come early spring. And look, just to finish off folks, I've been getting the trout itch in a big way. I was just trawling through some old footage last night, and there was some stuff I hadn't released yet. just last year in October, caught my first Tassie rainbow. And I wasn't expecting to catch a rainbow that day, but it was a bloody good day. So I'll share that with you now. Hope everyone is really well. I hope you're getting fired up for a big winter of wild natural harvest. Folks, it's a great time to be in the Aussie outdoors. Sambra just coming on, like I've mentioned. Those of you who have Rusa deer access, you'll be getting excited right now. There's some excellent trout fishing cropping up right now, particularly down in the snowies. You can be in the threadbow and the like. Big duck season's just starting to wrap up. Guys, it's a great time to be alive, great time to be out bush. Hope you're all really well. Hope you're getting your good times natural. Biggest cheers. He was right there. He was right there. Oh man. Wow. Nice rainbow. There we go, it's starting to pull. Seen me. This is a great fish. This is an absolutely great fish. Come on, come on. You're pretty. Into the net. Into the... Oh my word. Holy... Oh, talk about the quality. Oh, that's gorgeous. Seriously gorgeous. Absolutely cracker rainbow trout. Oh. That's mad. That's absolutely sick. Still very dark and spawning colours. Are you ready for that?